Good Monday. Sheets is out tonight. We did our little video earlier, which we appreciate so many people tuning in for. We'll do more of the early looks for baseball and do more. We'll talk live baseball and basketball every day. Want to remind everybody we have a promo, MLB 24. We only have it running for like another week, so make sure to sign up for it. Get the first month 24% off. And come check out what we got. I think everybody knows we're partnered with SaberSim. We have Sheets projections, which have been literally the best in the industry lately, and we've got Goldie's projections as well as my content, Rody's content, Brendan Cruz, and Chan for LOL. So we got a lot of good stuff going on over here. We suggest you guys check it out. Just going to share my screen and talk through a little bit about what I'm doing on this baseball slate. I think there's a lot of ways to go. It's one of those slates where I actually don't think you could really make a bad case for almost stacking anybody. I'm going to stay away from the spots that are bad hitting games and focus more on the pitching there. That would be true with the Mets and Detroit game. I like both pitchers in that one. I prefer Manaea, and I'm just doing this now, so it's my bad. I didn't save it earlier when I did my thing. I prefer Manaea. He's the one I feel the safest with. I think Houck is my second favorite. And then I have McKenzie, Olsen, Paxton after that. So I do think that there's a number of pitchers you consider. I think I have one Joe Boyle's set of lineups. I'm okay with the Kyle Gibson to get weird. It's a tough lineup, tough-ish lineup, pretty good pitching conditions. So Kyle Gibson is projected to throw the most pitches of any pitcher on the slate. That's something I think you could certainly do. Getting over to catcher, again, it's not position by position. I'll tell you, I'll go positions what I like the best. What I would think he would be doing almost cash-wise. I think Diaz would be the guy I'd probably be using as a cash game catcher at that price. I have a ton of Will Smith as I'm stacking the Dodgers. Looking at my exposure real quick by position. Sorry about this. Okay. All right. Sorry. So I have got Diaz, Moreno, Kirk, and Smith. I'm stacking some of, obviously, the Blue Jays and some of Arizona. I like getting different on this slate. And I think those are two teams that you have a real option to get different, and I like that quite a bit. Shortstop, Mookie's my highest owned player, position player. Sorry, I'm going backwards on the DraftKings way. We'll go to first base. First base, my highest owned is Ohtani, Freeman, Guerrero. I also do have some A's stacks, so I have some Ryan Noda, which I can't. I'm hedging against my own Houck play. Second base, I think Toro makes sense as a value option. I think you use him at second or third. You have some other options for value at third. It's not a position I love today. Bets between second base and shortstop, I'm using him at second base about half the time. Actually, I don't like either of those positions all that much. I also have Gavin Lux in my Dodger stacks where Betts is a shortstop. Ketel Marte, Toro, Geloff, as I mentioned, and a little bit of Biggio, and those are all stack related. I do have one Houston stack, so I've got one Altuve set of lineups. Third base, and I don't think there's a must play here, so I'm not going to put a priority on any of these guys at second and short because I you know what I will actually that's not true. I'll put one on Mookie. I think Mookie is red hot right now. I have no idea why. I guess it's the price that. I guess what I'm saying is that when people aren't going to play Mookie, I'm going to play Mookie. So he'd be the guy I choose there. At third base, I'm actually using quite a bit of these value options. Tyler Freeman the most, Toro second most, and Clement right there behind that just because I have some Blue Jay stacks. But Muncy's my favorite. I think if I can get to Muncy, I would like to. But I don't think there's a must play at this position either. Must play. There's not going to be a must play at any position really, but a core play. Shortstop, I think there's a number of ways to go here as well. I mentioned a second base and short. I don't love it that much. That's why I flagged Mookie. I think Volpe, if he plays, Perdomo in by Arizona stacks, Lindor and Machado as one-offs, just because I think the position's pretty bad. I think you could win it. One of those guys could hit one home run, and that literally might crush the position. And those guys have multi-home run upside, but I don't think there's any must play there. Outfield, again, I have the most of Ohtani, but he's in my outfield more. I have a lot of Will Brennan just for the value because I think I do need it if I'm stacking the Dodgers. So I'm going to put these little tags on Brennan and Freeman. I don't think you have to play them, but if you're stacking the Dodgers, you kind of do. I think I actually put Brennan a little bit ahead of Freeman, so I'll leave that one alone. I like JJ. I like the A's today. I really like Dalton Varsho. I think the price is going to come up soon. I'm looking at my ownership here. Corbin Carroll, I think, is an awesome spend up with your, in addition to the Dodgers guys. But Corbin Carroll, I think, is a really a guy I'd like to. I'm just going to keep playing him. So much upside and so many different ways you could do it. I actually like Jock a lot too as well today. And I think that if you're making it like a cash game type of thing, I think that the guy you try to spend up for in the outfield would be Judge and Ohtani. I think they're both very close. I'm just going to set this core real quick. It's just going to be 6-7 guys to start sort of with a build, and a lot of times with my core stuff, I'm building my core, but then if I build my core early, I like to try to. I'm just going to show you guys. I can drag this over here. I like to try to, include my course more so in basketball. Like, okay, if I'm not going to play all of these guys in the same exact lineup, how am I going to do this? And if I'm going to play them all together, what am I building? In baseball, you're going more towards your stack. So I have more Brennan. I have a lot of mini Cleveland stacks because of the value. I have a lot of Arizona stacks, a lot of Varsho. So that's why I tag those guys. And also the prices I really like. And I think Carroll's a really good low on play tonight. All right. Waiting on Cunningham news, says TJ. Are you playing anyone on Memphis? We will get over to basketball in just a moment. I just wanted to talk through what I'm doing as far as baseball goes, and then go from there. Let's see something really quick. Sorry about this. Sorry about this. Anyway, pop in questions or thoughts on the baseball slate. It's pretty straightforward, pretty small one. I think it's, that's what I'm doing. I think that the logical stacks are going to be the Yankees. And you see it with the ownership. I just think that that's where people are mostly going to go. And I think you're going to see, a lot of Boston in there as well. I prefer to play Boston at home. I understand it's a weaker slate, so I don't mind it as much. I think you could also, I have some 3-3-2s tonight, but mostly I have 5-mans and I have a couple 4-mans, a couple 4-4s and a couple 4-2-2s. Just because it's a smaller slate, you can treat it a little bit differently, and it's early in the year. Pitchers a little bit limited. People go into the bullpen. Everybody's competitive because it's early in the season. So that's why I'm going that way. Although I certainly understand the logic behind the Yankees and Oakland, but as you guys know me from baseball, for the most part, I don't generally stack the most popular teams very often, and I'm not going to plan to start doing that tonight. So. That's where I'm at on baseball. We can get over to basketball. Please click the like button and subscribe if you don't already. We like doing these videos for free. That really helps us out, et cetera, et cetera. Sorry about this. A lot of family stuff going on. It's been a rough start to the year. Let's turn it around. It's April. It's a new month. Let's get this thing going in the right direction. All right. Moving over to the NBA. I'm not planning to play much the remainder of the year, except for maybe a couple big slates I'll take shots at. It's pretty straightforward today. I think you have a very natural, what your sort of core is. Grant Williams would be added to that now, which he wasn't as much a part of earlier. These are the logical ones. I think Cam Thomas too, I guess. And I would say Zion. Yeah, that's the thing. He's like that. It's those guys are going to show up in a lot of builds. So we're going to try to find some way we can maybe get a little bit different. Oops. What was that? Save corpus. Okay. And I'm going to update these if there's anything to update as much as I can. It's a little hard with the shows, but usually I just, it's just for premium and stuff. I talk about this stuff, but we appreciate you guys tuning in, and it's a smaller slate, sort of a weird, these double slates are always a little bit weird. You don't know where to focus as much. You don't know if people are watching for basketball or baseball. So please drop in any questions or thoughts about either, and we'll try to get after it. We also know that there's a lot of other competing shows going on, which we understand. So we're gonna run into things. So please talk about what you want to talk about. We're ready to cover both things. I'm happy to run a build here for. I think that the builds are much more interesting for the NBA. It's the Sims. Sheets mentioned it earlier. I don't think it matters to me as much in major leagues. I would just always treat the major league. I'm never going to be I'm always going to have sub 10% guys on my major league builds, unless it's like a 3-game slate. It's just because there's just so much variance. You just really don't need to eat the chalk the way you do in basketball. So it's kind of fun actually for me, because I'm a more contrarian thinker, and it's really harder to be more contrarian in basketball. I'm going to let's not run the alley-oop. Let's run I don't know. Somebody say what tournament to run a build for, and we'll see what we do. Maybe we do a lot of the. Let's do I don't like doing the single entries. Well, let's do the box out or something like that. Okay, we'll just do, and we'll build it for like 5 lineups or something. Just see what it gets us. We're going to go a little higher on correlation on smaller slates. And oops, let's go right back to it. Did I not click? I always forget to click the save button, and I think I saved it. It's really, really getting pretty stupid. What did I decide on even? Oh, the backside. Yeah. All right. So let's save the setting. Boom. Okay. And then let's build. Run contest sim. That was from my earlier build. And then we're going to rebuild again probably after this to see what it gives us. But actually, my earlier build was only a 1 lineup thing. So I wonder, I have to double check my settings here. I know I'm a little bit off with this. I know, I'm with you, Scott. I'm happy to talk baseball. I'm happy to go back to baseball. I'm just showing, I wanted to get a little bit of basketball content out there for people who are looking for basketball. There's only a 1 lineup build. So you see, yeah, it's going to be hard to get away. Even there, who's the one? I actually like that Murray idea. I co-sign on that play. The 4,600 Chris Murray. That's an under 10%er that you can get there. I'll just do that again real quick and build like 5. Okay. I have to do something. Here we go. Let's do 27, 22. Why did this not work? 27. Okay. Rebuild lineups, build lineups. And let's see what we get here. And then I'll jump back over to baseball. I will take a look at the baseball one, but I don't really think the sims matter just as much in baseball. I mean, that's not true. For the big buy-in, small field. For the large field MME, I think I would say they matter just almost as much. Not quite, but I still think that I'm more thinking like just if I'm playing 1 or 2 entries or a single entry or anything that's 3 entry, I don't think it matters as much to me in that case. Maybe even as much as 20 entry. But anything above that, like it's 150 max, I think that you kind of do want to still run the sims and at least see how it treats you for the time being. All right, let's see what it gave us here overall ownership wise. Wow, they don't love Graham Williams as much as everybody else. I guess I've lowered his ownership as his projection by 0.5 point. All right, Cam Thomas 100%, Jabari Walker, Zion, Brandon Clark. There's one to get different. Okay, I co-sign on that one too. I think that's a good low owned play. And you're taking shots with Valanciunas, Chris Murray. I like the Chris Murray idea to get a little bit different. I still like DeJounte at this price, by the way. I know that's weird, but I mean, not weird, but or obvious, I guess. But I think if I was going to spend up somewhere, I guess I would get there. But I just like the spending up and stopping it at like Zion or something. I also think McCollum is a strong play. We didn't talk about him any, but yeah, you sort of see where it's at. It's a small slate. Again, not playing much myself because it's just a grind this time of year, and if I'm ready for it, if I'm in on it, like on a big slate, I might do it. But I'm turning my attention and trying to really catch up on baseball and actually learning who all these players are, which I've done a lot of research, but there's still things that are getting me every day. So I'm a little more focused on that for right now. So you see Paxton getting the most ownership. I expect this to be another one of those slates. I know Brady Singer had a big game yesterday, but like it's a weird situation with the pitchers early in the season because they really are not going to let them go. But if the game is close and they're in the middle of an inning, yeah, they might be able to throw 95 pitches. But I think there's a really good chance that nobody throws 90 pitches tonight. So I'm going for the guys I feel comfortable with in the best matchups at Houken and Minaya. But I have almost as much McKenzie and almost as much Reese Olson. Unless I'm Boyle, but I do have like 1 Boyle lineup. I have some Blanco, but I more have the Blue Jays stacks. And as I mentioned, I think Gibson's a decent way to get different. I just keep having a hard time pulling the trigger he versus Minaya. But I think maybe that's what I'll do is I'll sub him in for some of my Minayas, and I'll try to get one of my Minayas with him together. Scottie Pippen, worth playing. Back to the NBA. All right, good. I like that we got the questions in. I appreciate that one, TJ. Give me a second here. So, all right, let me look at Memphis's thing and my notes on my other page. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I actually think that you can make a case for it. Sure. I mean, I think there's other plays in that range, but I think it's kind of an interesting one to get different with. I think you could make a similar argument, unfortunately, for Luke Kennard. Like, I just think that, yeah, sure, I could see it. And they're playing it's a great matchup against Detroit in what should be a close game and no one's getting played much. So yeah, maybe do get some exposure to this game. I actually think that you can make a pretty strong case for all of these guys. Like, I mean, it's a small slate, and again, ways to get different. These are sub 10 percenters. The Saber Sims projection, like the Brandon Clark, I like that too. They had Jaren Jackson in there in one of them. I think Scottie Pippen or Luke Kennard are totally legitimate. It always worries me because it could be Jordan Goodwin night. We don't know with Memphis. We've seen them sort of let the hot hand thing happen a couple times. But yeah, I don't mind it. It's not my favorite thing. Running fresh builds now, but getting to a fair amount of Toronto. I like that. It sits well with me, Scott. I think it's a reasonable variance, but it's a spot where I don't mind getting like some, I want to get some variance on this slate. You have a decent even run projected total. The lineup's a little bit watered down from what we've seen Toronto lineups in the past, but you see the ownership reflecting that as well. We really don't know exactly what to expect from Blanco. It's a good bullpen, but Blanco, I don't know. Maybe he's figured it out this year. But I like the Varsho, Clement. You got the value, so it gets in there nicely. You've got Vlad, who's I think is a great non-Dodger to play at first base. Really like the Dodger and a non Ryan Noda too. Ryan Noda is my bold call of the night, by the way, even though I'm playing Tanner Houck in my biggest buy-in. But you've got Biggio also has a spend down, but you've got Vlad and Springer, and I think it's a decent enough spot to attack at low ownership. So I'm in on the Toronto side of things. Let's see. Thoughts on Hancock tonight against Cleveland. So in general, we'll go back to just remembering from last year that Cleveland is a pretty low strikeout team with a pretty similar roster to what they had last year. A little different, but pretty similar. And Stephen Kwan, nobody harder to strike out than that guy, basically. Not really, but he's tough. Anyway, maybe take that shot. Maybe that's worth taking a shot on. I didn't get there myself, but at no ownership, I'm not going to argue with anything. I also wouldn't be surprised if he pitched like 3 innings. I don't know how much they're going to let him go. We haven't really ever seen him throw a ton of pitches. So I don't know. I don't mind the idea. I don't mind the idea, Project Man. Like I said, in baseball, the name of the game is often get different. Usually that's at position plays, not at pitching. But you want to have some position plays. Some pitching plays as well, especially early in the year to gamble on. And Hancock he needs to outscore all those other guys in the same price range. I think it's unlikely, but that's why he's priced like he is, and he's a little bit cheaper than them. But like I also just mentioned, I made the Kyle Gibson case, who is projected to throw the most pitches of any pitcher on the slate. And I still didn't get to him in my actual first builds because it just doesn't feel like the right thing. But the wind's blowing in left field and a cold night in San Diego, I think I could be talked into a little bit of Kyle Gibson. Why not? All right. Any other questions or thoughts? All right. Looks like they're drying up. Should we run sim for baseball? Let's just do it for the heck of it. Okay, sim, let's make the correlation a little bit lower and see if we can get a little different that way. Because I don't think you necessarily need to go like 5-3 on these slates. But I like maybe lowering it a little bit. It's still going to find you those types of things. We're going to do a contest sim. All right, who's going to be the one? Scott, throw in somebody in the chat. Tell me what I should be throwing up and looking up what tournament you want me to look up tonight. Should we do? I guess we could just do the lottery because we haven't done a baseball one yet. So we could. I'm playing one entry in the ball 4, so I'm not going to do that. Well, I guess I could do that one, but I think I want to do the relay throw. Let's do the relay throw, and I'm going to stick with that one. We're going to save. Okay, we're going to do the builds 20. We are going to do pitching. Oh my God, Tanner Houck's projection came down. How did his projection come down? By the way, for everybody asking, Goldie's projections are on the page. You just have to drag them over. We're going to work on SaberSim on trying to find a way to do this. They said they were going to help us out. We'll get to that soon. But you can just drag them over in the meantime to get his actual projections. So, just in case you guys didn't know. And Goldie has some of the best. So this is his ownership projection, by the way, not his projection. This is the other one's the projection. Anyway, all right. So what let's see. We're going to build this. I just have to do this. How is he only projected at 16? Did I just see? That's weird. I feel like Houck's projection just like randomly came down in a strange way. All right, we'll just make it 16. We'll make it 16. See what it gives us. All right. All right. I think in one of your recent, oh, wait, here, let's run the $4.20. Oh, so we can try to catch up with Brandon. Wait, did he win another one? What, did I miss it? When did that happen? What did Brandon win? Did he win an NBA one? How did I miss this? Maybe just from before because he's been hot. All right. Oh, second place. Wow, let's go. Where is it in? I didn't even see it. Oh, where did he post it? Oh, I missed it. Oh, I totally missed that. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, man. Thrilled to see that. I'm supposed to preserve their column in order. See it. Not sure if it works out. Yeah, I know, Scott. That's what it's supposed to be. And you probably know about this. You probably can figure this stuff out. You know what, Scott? I wish you'd come and work with us because, man, we could use some of that. The way your brain thinks for some of this stuff. You know a lot more technology stuff than I do, man. So you did it in the Discord. I'll follow that back up because I want to check that out. I didn't catch that. I love it when we get the wins in there. All right. So, all right, let's see what we got. So you're going to see, I'm just curious. Let's see what we get stacks wise. Toronto. See, they're with me. They're with me for Toronto, but it looks like Toronto's ownership's going up a little bit too, by the way. The Yankees, I still think the Yankees are going to be higher owned, especially in higher buy-ins. More or single entries. St. Louis, I'm not as into St. Louis tonight myself. I don't love that hitting weather, and I think if I was playing them, I'd play the lefties. Boston, I'm under on that one. So I'm on the Dodgers. They got to 0 Dodgers, and let's see what kind of stacks we got tonight. So they built, and I remember I put less correlation a little bit. So wait, 5 stacks, still getting the 5-man stacks, but you're probably going to get. So you're going to have what number is that total? So most of, the majority, obviously, only 10% 4-man stacks, some threes, obviously, to go probably together. So even if you change the correlation down a little bit, it's still correlating. It's going to always. And the 2s, there you go. And let's see what we got in terms of just some individual players that SaberSim is suggesting to us based on my little thing. And by the way, when I run things, I change things a lot. I do want minimum exposures to some guys. Like if I was max entering tonight, if it was a $4 150 max, or if I just felt like playing the big one, I would play Aaron Judge. I'd make sure to have probably 15% of them because I really think that it's underrated how crazy much more power than he has than everybody else. I know that Ohtani, we can make the argument, but I would make sure to get some exposure because I have a lot of Dodgers stuff, and I'd probably be 30% Dodgers. Probably 20% Arizona, 20% Toronto, 10% Oakland, maybe 15. And then I would try and get some individual bats that I like on these smaller slates. I like to do that. And I would probably force in more 4-4s and more 3-3-2s and 4-3-2s, 4-3 or 1-1s, or sorry, 4-2-1-1s on this type of slate. All right. It seems like things are drying up a little bit. I hope you guys appreciate and enjoyed this, whether you did or didn't. I hope you clicked the like button because you stayed with us long enough. I'm going to get out of here and say good luck to everybody tonight. I hope we can crush it. I'll be in the Discord. If anybody has any questions, just make sure to tag me. I'll try to be in the Discord. I've got a lot of stuff going on. So, I'm going to try to be there, but my plan is to try and be there whenever things come up. Good luck tonight in NBA and MLB. And let's get it, guys. Good luck.